week it's been for Blackburn Rovers. We've said goodbye to Captain Travis. We've seen John Buckley score his first goal in Saudi football, of course. And the Viking clap is back. And that's just transfers. What about the rest? Well, I'll tell you next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another video today. We catch up with the lads, that's right, to talk all things Blackburn Rovers in what has been a bit of a topsy-turvy week. We'll digest, of course, last night's result against Norwich City. We'll look forward to Watford and everything in between. We'll get to that in a minute. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want some for Blackburn Rovers, Championship football, world football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right. The Viking clap is back as we've signed an Icelander. And we've also, of course, looked forward to the Japanese sensation, Morishita, to add to the mix. But we'll talk about that and, of course, everything else in between in just 1 second. Big shout out to the members, big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. And, of course, I'm going to chuck you over quickly to Eddie to talk all things Blackburn Rovers, including our special away days that we're trying to get up and running. Take it away, Eddie.
Ewan Eddie here with some news on our brand new scheme we're looking to implement in the 2025-2026 campaign. What is it? Well, it's affordable away day travel. That's right, us at Blackburn Rovers Seas hope to implement this brand new scheme for each and every one of the away days taking place in the upcoming campaign. Right now, we're just in the planning stages and we want to know if you are interested in away day travel for the upcoming season. Now, what I need you to do now is, of course, go to this link on the screen right about now. It's a QR code, or maybe drop down in the old description to follow the URL and fill out your name and, of course, maybe some contact information that we can reach out to you when we are 100% committed. Just a reminder that this is just the planning stage of this service. Nothing is 100% as of yet. But the more numbers and the names that we get down in the next few weeks, then, of course, then we'll have the ability to make this happen for you guys. Again, looking at what's available at the moment, this does look like an affordable option if we can get the support from you guys. And again, it's just a fantastic way for you to support the channel in another way. Back to you, Dirk.
Appreciate that, Eddie. Now, of course, it's time to bring on the boys. Shambles yesterday, not what we were hoping for, but
what I'm hearing though is Ishmael was very pleased with the second half. So now I'm like, I never watched any of it, so I've got like, so.
Well, looking back at the second half, it was definitely a better performance considering we were down to 10 men, but. We kind of should have had that urgency in the first half. But Jonty, you saw the game. What was your take? I know we got your reaction out there, but if those haven't caught that and maybe want to get more of your side of the things after a night's sleep, what's your take on it all, yesterday?
Yeah, I like that introduction after a night's sleep. I have had time to ponder. I think initially my gut feeling after the game was I was pretty good. It was embarrassing, I said on my reaction, I've been waxing lyrical about how well we've been playing, that we've had a really, really good start. We played well against West Brom, we played well against Birmingham, but we were on the wrong end. We didn't get anything from either game. But that's not, I've always said I don't mind losing. It's a manner in which we lose. And I think against both West Brom and Birmingham, we didn't deserve to lose. Hull City, we were a completely different outfit. We absolutely, I can't remember a time of recent years that we've dominated a game so well and we looked so comfortable and the passing was slick and everything like that. So, coming into yesterday, we met up with uncles and cousins in the pub before. My brother was there as well, and I've been saying how great we were and things like that. And then we go and put on that shit show, which I can't think of anything better to say. I think Ismail was only saying that he takes a lot of pride in his players and things like that, especially after the second half performance. But for me, I think Norwich eased off the gas a little bit. Now I know some people say no, we didn't. 1-0 up, that's dangerous ground to play. But we came out with a bit more intense, but we still created very, very little. So we shouldn't be dominated like that in the first half, like we were against Norwich. No disrespect to Norwich, but they were on equal footing to us going into that game, lost 2-1-1. But I thought they were excellent. I thought Norwich were really, really good. It was a typical Liam Manning performance. I rated him at Bristol City. And they did brilliantly well. And I think I always know when we're playing a good opposition, because I find myself just on occasions counting the number of players on the pitch, because it felt like they were, when we had 11 men, it felt like they had 12. So that's normally a testament. That's normally a toe in the water as to that we are playing a decent opposition, that we're well organised, well drilled, good slick passing, and we just couldn't get anywhere close to them. Second half, like I say, we huffed and we puffed a lot, but same old, same old. We get in front of the goal, and we don't know what to do with it, sort of thing. Or we get into the final third, and yeah, we had a couple of chances, but I think for me, it's just a contrast. I can't understand how the same starting 11 that performs so well can suddenly go from hero to zero in a matter of a week, sort of thing. I know it's different opposition and all that good stuff, but we couldn't even string 2 or 3 passes together yesterday. It was embarrassing. It was toe curling. It was like watching a car crash in slow motion, and I think that's why I'm so downbeat. And even it's not like me to dwell on something, but even I wake up the same the following morning and I still feel the same. So yeah, I'm still a little bit moody today, if I'm being honest. Maybe a lack of sleep. So yeah.
Well, the 10-man, the red card didn't really help us at all in that instance. Do you think if we were still 11 against 11, do you think we could have got something out in that game?
Yeah, maybe we could have. I think we were up for a big bollocking at half time. So, yeah, we might have done, but also psychologically, Norwich might have thought, we need to, carry on doing what we're doing in the first half. But we hardly got out of our half in the first half. So, it's a tough one to call. I think we couldn't have got any worse. So would we have got better in the second half? Yeah, absolutely. 11 versus 11. It was just, I guess it was just an amateur performance, and that was epitomised by the sending off. Because your man's through one goal, you don't bring him down there. It's just, it's always going to be a straight red. You're giving the referee an easy decision to make. So for me, it was just an amateur performance all the way around. So I still think we would have got beat yesterday, just because on the basis of how dominating Norwich City were. We look like we've been out on the piss the night before. We look hungover. I even said on the reaction yesterday that I think we went into the game maybe a little bit complacent, that we were suddenly world beaters because we'd got such a not only a great win away at Hull, but also the performance to match as well. But yeah, no, I think Liam Manning, very very good manager, and he'll probably get Norwich going. They'll kick on from this. I think it's just when you reflect now, 4 games in, we've lost 3. 2 of them have been at Ewood Park as well. So and I hate to say it, but that's sort of reminiscent of sort of relegation when we went down that time, albeit we went on 52 points, but all the games that were nearlies and we could have won, but we didn't win, and that's kind of relegation fodder for you. But I'm not for 1 minute saying that we'll be going to get relegated 4 games in. I think it would be stupid to say that, but based on what I've seen so far, I think it's going to be a bit of a struggling season. I still think there's going to be 3 worse teams than us, thankfully. But a lot to unfold. But it's just typical Blackburn Rovers. One week you're high as a kite, next minute you're next to Earth's core, aren't you?
Yeah, and of course now we've got to sit on this for 2 weeks, and we can't really get ourselves out of this funk. We've got to wait to the next one. And Denver, you didn't catch the game, but did you catch any of the highlights by chance, or what's your current take on the? Because it's been back-to-back games, same 11. I think it was same 11 that played Hull, and same 11 I think. Do you think some people may have got delusions of grandeur in that 11? A lot of people giving hype to Cargbo. That's maybe he doesn't really deserve the hype. Maybe some hype to Tavares, maybe, and again, he doesn't probably deserve the hype. What's your take on the current 11 that's featured back to back, and maybe any obvious holes in our squad that could do with filling?
I would definitely say the squad itself. Look, I'm happy with what we brought in, and of course we've brought in another signing in Andre Johnson. But honestly, with the players that we've got, that's probably the best 11 that we had on the pitch. And what am I saying? That's what I'm trying to say here. we've got to remember we're signing these players. These aren't the final product. They are very much in the process players. They are very much along their footballing journey, and we brought them here because there's one area of their game that's not there, or there's a reason why they're not hitting the high levels of the top divisions, but there's something there. But they've got a quality. That's a specific thing. So with Cargbo specifically, he's got pace, he's rapid, he's physical, but his decision making and in his touch can let him down. There's the same with everyone. We have all of them. Every single player on our team has that, because the second they become really good, or they become the player that we need to get out of this league, we sell them on for a profit. So that is what kind of club that we are, and they're the players that we can afford to bring in. So you've just got to remember we're in a transitional season. This is Ishmael's side. You've got to get used to this. We've got to get used to everything. It's going to be one of those seasons where, but of course, we've been spoiled for the past few seasons where we thought last season was going to be the transitional season, and we went and smashed it for the first half of the season under Eustace, and seasons prior to that, we've over exceeded our expectations, apart from the one season where we nearly went down. But I just think we've got to be realistic. Look, with the transitional season, all these new players, they've got to develop, and hopefully they develop all at enough of a rate that it will push us up the league and we win more games and we go up. But we've just got to wait and see. One player might be ready, and then we sell them on for a profit, and then we'll do the next player to develop. And that's where we are at the minute. And am I, I was speaking to John Team when we were at Hull, like the Tavares is just a bit of, like, he needs to get used to the league. Cargbo, the same thing. He's got flaws in his game. All the players do. Cantwell, Gay, even Ohashi to a degree. So I'm happy with the squad. Am I panicking? No, I'm not. I'm not saying we're winning the league like we were at Hull, and I'm not saying we're getting relegated because we've lost to Norwich City. It's football is football, and I can see what's being trying to be done, and you've got to understand where the club is at and the process that they're the process of what we're trying to do. We're not going to be signing the best players in the league. We're not signing your Lewis Travises of the league, or your Ben Brayson of the league, or So you just got to remember where we are.
Yeah, and I think looking back at our start of the fixtures, it's been, three really, on paper, are tough teams. Tough teams. West Brom are always going to be tough. Birmingham with the money they got, and Norwich, they're always there. Hull, I'm glad we won that one. I'm glad we won it away.
But just remember what they were saying before they played us. They thought they were going to have a fantastic, season. They had three good results, and they're like, we fancy this, and then they get spanked, And that's one, that's the championship, but two, that's just football fans in general. When things are good, it's the best, it's the real highs, and when everything's bad, it's the real lows. So no different to us.
No different to us whatsoever. I'm going to bring on some graphical elements here. We're going to blitz through this. Only a little bit of, reminiscing, of going down memory lane of our Norwich misery here. But this guy, of course, is, I think, the best striker in the division, Josh Sargent. And he took a penalty well, and of course he got a nice breakaway goal. But there was opportunities for Rovers in that game yesterday. And again, you bring it up, Denver, with players that have I'd say maybe faults in their game. That's why we got them. We got them in the bargain bucket bin, I'd say. We got them in the bargain bucket bin, but they've got good elements to the game, and then we got some rusty stuff. But there was point blank opportunity. Who did that land on? Was it? Well, Cargbo had one. He had a nailed on point blank thing, and he missed. And I think Hedges had an opportunity where he could have rolled back the years and done a Watford flip over them, or flick over them, and he could have also scored. But we're up against the best, and unfortunately they came out on top. But yeah, there he is, Cargbo having a crack at it, just cutting shy. But did anybody stand out for you? Did you, like John T, a lot of people get a lot of heat coming out of this one? Anyone stood out for you yesterday that you think, okay, no, I can see some the light at the end of the tunnel?
No. In a word, no. In a word, no. No. If you ask me that about Hull, yes, there was some standout players. I thought Tavares had a solid game. I thought all the four across the back. It was just a wonderful performance at Hull. But anyway, that ship sailed now. We've got to look at the here and now. Categorically, no, nobody stood out for me. I guess my concern from yesterday is if Campbell is the engine room, and if he breaks down or is misfiring in a game, is that going to be what Rovers are about? Do you know what I mean? So the first half, like I say, was just really, really poor. Lots of mistakes, lots of loose passes, just couldn't get going. So I even said it after the whole game, even when my chips are high, sort of thing. But is it a case of if Campbell isn't firing, then the whole team does? Because Tavares, he kept giving the ball away. Our usual Ribeiro, left back. He's normally quite a solid player. The players that don't normally stand out for the wrong reasons stood out yesterday for the wrong reasons for me. So no, in a word, I don't think anybody, especially in the first half, did themselves any favours with the Rovers faithful. It was just a below average. We're dominated by a very decent team in terms of chances. Whilst we wax lyrical about the second half, and Ismail was saying how good it was. Nah, it wasn't. If you could have a jaunty off the seat-ometer, I think I got off my seat once in the whole game. That's how poor it was, and that shouldn't be the case. So no, it was poor across the board. Even your reliable people, even Yuki, was very. Was just made no impact. Didn't have the same sort of zest about him that he normally does. So no, I feel like I'm really downbeat, and I am probably downbeat. It's just we're 4 games in. There's plenty of the season to go, sort of thing. But I just I think it doesn't help if I've gone by by myself and sat with all my friends and season ticket holders around me. I might not feel this bad, but I think I was just walking away from the ground with egg on the face, to the point where even at half time I was thinking I'll take 2-0 now, and that was with down to 10 men. So shouldn't be thinking like that at home against a team that started in exactly the same position as us at the start of the day. So
Dwight Dirk's wearing his yellow shirt now, isn't it? So trying to fit in with the Norwich fans.
well, I did actually think yesterday when I was looking at the Norwich, I thought it is Norwich and not Brazil that we're playing here, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Because it was just like they were whipping the ball around, and going back to Josh Sargent. To be fair, I think by his standards he'll feel disappointed with yesterday, because he could have had 2, 3 maybe in the first half. So he missed some golden opportunities, which is unlike him. There was one that he placed well over the bar, and I just thought, well, if he's having an off day, happy days. And you know what? If we got into half time at 0-0 and with Josh Sargent not firing, then who knows? Going back to your 11-11, and obviously we wouldn't have been 1-0 down. Then we might have. It would have been a complete robbery, but at that time, but we might have gone on to win the game, because Josh Sargent just wasn't doing anything yesterday. But beaten by the better team, but I'm just glad it wasn't any more than 2.
We can't hear you, Dirk.
Dirt, we've lost you.
He's there. He's just the mic's not wanting to work.
Check. Okay, hang on.
So we can hear you.
Wow. How about now? Now?
Yep.
Weird. Hopefully, let me know when you don't hear me, because
Will do.
Okay, but that ends the chunk of the season, first international break, and we walk away with 3 points. I know we all had our own dreams of 11 and 12 and whatnot, and it's a bitter pill to swallow. I'm going to do a quick swip out of here, but now I know we've done this before, and hopefully you can all still hear me, but we are going to take a little look at the transfers that we made, because it is transfer deadline day-ish. When this goes out, it will be transfer deadline day. Wrapping it up the season. We've been very busy, a lot of ins, a lot of outs. I don't want to go too heavy on this because we've done it already before, but just kind of we'll alternate. It's the luck of the draw.
Denver, what have you liked or what have you not liked so far from Dean Deneuve, the Belgian?
So what I've liked, he's put the ball in the back of the net twice. What I've not liked is pretty much everything else. I don't want to be like too bad down on him, but he just doesn't look like he's gonna get in this anywhere near the squad. Physicality. So I remember. I don't know. What I was saying. It was the John T. I was saying to someone anyway. Like you need to have at least one strong attribute in the championship anyway to put your claim to fame. Your card plays really really fast. I'm looking at Denevin, right? So he's not physically strong. He's not fast. He's not a wizard with his feet. What is it? Yeah, she put the ball in the back of the net twice, but they've been put on a plate. I know that's a trigger word for most people. He was in front of goal and it was a tap in, and they could be easily missed. So I'm not saying we'll underrate that, but he's not created a chance for himself. He's not really. He's just and I can just see him being a bench warmer. And if
Joe
that's
Rankin Costello 2.0. Maybe.
Yeah, pretty much. And so that's what I'm seeing at the minute. Hopefully he goes and proves me wrong, but that's all I'm seeing at the minute.
And again, feel free, Johnny, if you want to add extras to that, or we can move on to the next guy if you want.
I think he's positive. He scored 2 goals, sort of thing. So he might just need a bit of time to get up to speed, out the Belgium league into this. So I will cut the guy a bit of slack. There's one that I'm not going to cut any slack if we get onto him, but no, there's the fact that he's scored 2 more goals this season than Max Targay is positive, right? So at least he knows where the net is.
All right. Cool. Moving on.
Just to add one thing in. So whilst we all walked off the Bradford City game pretty disappointed, we lost 2-1, but and then Bradford City just last week went to Stoke City and beat them 3-0 at their place. So I know Stoke had a predominantly large change team, as did we, but you look at that and suddenly it doesn't feel as bad. Bradford City were a decent setup, so.
Yeah, I agree, and they're on fire. It's not just in the cup; they are on fire in League One.
The
right
league,
now.
yeah, absolutely.
They're on fire 4 games in. We'll see at the end of the season.
Hey, they're under. They should be much higher in the league pyramid in my eyes. Bradford City.
Yeah.
Next one, Tavares, John T. Is this the guy that you want to cut slack or no cut slack?
Yeah, against Hull, he was absolutely brilliant. He complimented the whole team. He was moving around with confidence and things like that. And this is why, I don't really subscribe to anybody that says that, it takes a bit of time for us to gel, because on last week against Hull, we absolutely gelled. He reminded me last week, and this is going to be a big statement, of a bit of not only in presence and looks and things like that, but the way he played the ball and moved around, with a bit of Steven Nzonzi-esque.
Yeah.
And so instantly, I loved him. I'm a big fan of Steven Nzonzi. And I saw that last week for the first time, and I just thought, yeah, we've got a hell of a player. And both me and Dem were waxing lyrical about him at half time. Whilst all the plaudits obviously went to Cantwell, we're looking at Tavares and we're thinking, wow, we've got a hell of a player here. No concern last week at Hull City was basically, bloody hell, we'll probably only have him till January, then he'll bugger off for a big fee somewhere. But judging on yesterday, polar opposite, the song about Richie Smallwood never gives the ball away. Well, unfortunately, Mr. Tavares, he always gives the ball away. So, I'm going to cut him some slack. I've been pretty impressed with him. He's had big boots to fill in that centre. He's complimented Tronstad as well. He looks like he's, slightly further up the field than, 2 defensive midfielders. He's athletic. He's all over the pitch. So, no, I like him. I want to see more of him. Just not like yesterday.
I agree. Pretty much what John T just said. I think he'll be one of those assets that we will sell on for a bigger fee if we don't go up. He is so for our more modern view. I mean, Nzonzi wasn't that long ago, but for the ones that maybe the younger generations, I'd say he reminds me of a Paul Pogba-esque kind of similar role. You Paul Pogba, tall, stocky, gets around the pitch, puts a good ball in here and there. But honestly, though, I do think we've got a good player here. Give him time, get him used to the league, so he knows when and when not to pass, when to do certain things, and I think we've got a hell of a player here. So,
okay. Next up, Rainer Blosu, or
Ablasu. I'm working on it. Working on my pronunciation.
I just
of
call him Ryan.
I
Yeah,
call him Ryan.
Ryan.
You got
So
a
what
few
do
of
we
them.
think? What do we think about him? He's got big boots to fill as well, but been pleasantly surprised with him. Yeah,
I
pleasantly
think
surprised.
I think he's done okay. He's come in and he's got, of course, we've just had Callum Britton. He's been, of course, he was never like Callum Britton was never the best right back, but he's gradually grown into the side. And last season he was really, really good. Again, we've signed someone not full potential. He was in the Arsenal Academy. He's come in. I'd say the only thing that lets him down again is decision making and his touch. Every now and then, similar to Cog, but I think having them two on that side of the channel kills us almost. But I like his desire to get forward, get into the box, create problems. Which they're things that some players who have really good touch and decision making don't do those things, and it hurts because you're not penetrating their areas, the danger areas, causing them problems. But he does that, so that's one good thing. But like I said, decision maker, sometimes he'll go and attack at the wrong time when it wasn't there, and he will lose the ball. He'll give up possession, or in his touch lets him down. So maybe he wants to go forward, but he'll put the ball so far ahead that it's quite an easy fix. He just needs to tidy up on those areas of his game, and then I think then we've got another valuable asset, or hopefully a really good right back to stay with us for a while.
Next up, Sean McLaughlin, centre back, red card, red mist.
Yeah, he up until yesterday, he's. I don't think he's going to win many man of the matches, but he's just going to be a solid defender for us. He's a presence, isn't he? So, he's seems a decent player. Just schoolboy error, from an experienced player, you don't expect that. Maybe just a little bit of passion gets in his way, but he's out now for the next 3 games, so that might be a good thing. Bringing Scotty Wharton back. So yeah, I'm all right with him. He's no Danny Barr. I think I prefer Danny Barr and Hyam together so far. But
Who's Danny Bart?
say again.
Who's Danny Bart? I don't know who Danny Bart is.
Yeah, him. Yeah. He's. I did like a Hyam and Barr sort of partnership, but Sean McLaughlin, some Hull City fans were saying kind of broadly similar to what I'm saying. He's a reliable guy. He'll make a few mistakes and things like that, but on the whole, you prefer to have him rather than play against him.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, we have the Aussie. I haven't seen much of him. Got a long throw on him. We've seen it in action, and we've seen it benefit us. Was that the Bradford City goal with the long throw?
Yeah, it was.
So, he's got a weapon. We've not seen those long throws for a while.
Tommy Spur would have been, I think, last time.
Say again?
Tommy Spur doing the last time. We've seen
long throws. A long time. But, again, not the finished article by a long ways.
No, but I like him. I think he'll be, I can see him at some point in his career maybe moving in at a centre-back, But I think he there's a lot of things that he doesn't do really well. But what I've seen, when I've seen him, I don't know. I just thought, I don't know what kind of play. When we signed Sean McLaughlin, and we signed fringe players from other clubs. I don't know much about Miller. We signed Adam Forshaw. I'm going, what are we like? What are we trying to do here? And then when I seen him against West Brom, I thought, you know what? He gets stuck in. He gets his head in. The long throwing's always an option if needs be, and he didn't look too out of place. He just did everything right. He made a few decent runs, but I don't know if that's because people are yet to find out his strengths and weaknesses and didn't know what to expect, or is he that good? But I think we've got a solid player there. I think he'll be more a bench and will come on for the long throw-ins or maybe make an impact. But no, I'm quietly happy with this signing.
Yeah, I guess he's got to take when he gets an opportunity, he's got to kind of make sure he can take it, because I think Ryan has that right back slot right now for his to lose at the moment, and he is a bit of a unit. He just seems to be a big old fella. Next up, I can get mixed up. This one is Axel.
Mm-hmm.
Axel Henriksen. Jonty. We did sign him.
just haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, and that's probably a good thing that we've not seen much of him, because I did say there's one guy I'm not going to give any slack to, and unfortunately this is. But before I move on, Dirk, it sounds like your microphone's changed to a very tinny. It sounds like you're about 3.5 miles away from the actual mouthpiece. But anyway, Axel, no, from again, I'm going to cut the guy a bit of slack, but he was a headless chicken against Bradford City. He was really, really poor. It's a long time since I've seen a player that almost looks like they're a fan that's got on the pitch and put a kit on, and they absolutely categorically shouldn't be there. So, but listen, it was I think it was his debut. He's not impressed me at all. If you can't do that against a decent League One side, as it now turns out to be, which is Bradford City, then there's worrying signs. But who am I to make a judgment so early on? After seeing a guy. So we just need to see more of him, but all I can say is, God, I hope he improves.
But I'd say he's similar to when Cantwell signed. I know when Cantwell signed, but I think the difference with Cantwell, because he's a name and we knew what he could produce, right? So, but it took him a while to get going. How many games did it take Cantwell? I know he had his injuries and whatnot, but he's coming in, he's in and out the squad. He never really got a foothold until the second half of the season, even then. So I feel like this is a very similar situation where he's come in, he's thrown in. We signed him 17, 18 hours before then he goes and plays against Bradford because of Cantwell injury. And then, he didn't look great. And every game that he's come on, there are things in there which, aren't terrible. Like he got into some good areas, but then again, his decision making let him down. I remember one time he was open to shoot and he goes to square it. But then saying that, a lot of teams do that. Arsenal did it today. I think it was Odegaard or someone tried to put it. It's like, just shoot, mate, just shoot. But look, another one, I think. Give him time. We'll wait and see. He's not looked great so far, but a lot of players don't. Bradley Dack didn't when he signed and stuff like that. So we'll give him time and see what happens. But yeah, not a great start.
Not a great start. But this guy had a cameo yesterday. Morishita.
Yeah, and I won't be able to say much about this one, so I'll leave this one for John T because I haven't seen it at all. How was he? How was he, guys? Let me know.
Yeah, he didn't do much. He didn't have the kind of impact. He did quite a bit of running. I don't remember anything where I thought, wow, we've got a hell of a player here. But there again, if the rest of the team aren't firing on all cylinders or even one cylinder, then he's straight into the lion's den, isn't he? But he looks lively. He looks like he'll chase stuff down. So I'd like to see him start. I don't know if it's for Cargbo because he's had one poor game. He's got a lot of work to do as Cargbo, but give this guy a chance. Starting maybe against Watford, away from the pressure of Ewood Park and what have you. But we didn't. I didn't see enough of him to really have an opinion of him. But just fingers crossed he turns out to be our little. Diamond in a pack sort of thing that can link up with all the other players. And if his personality is as bubbling as his football, then I'm bloody excited to see the guy.
Well, if you think that was hard, Denver, you got this guy, Musa Baraji, the injured player. We'll call him the injured. Sick note. We'll call him.
All the hype. Yeah, we can't say anything on this, can we? Really, but my question is, does he get straight? Does he come straight into the side? Is he the first choice in there, or will it be a bench warmer to then come on for Tavares for
the future is, if all goes well, Baraji and Tavares. I think in midfield. I think he's a more box to box kind of guy, and I don't want to. I'm not going to put him in the same vein, but I'm going to mention his name. It's Adam Wharton-esque, kind of the pass before the pass sort of thing. And then Tavares supposed to be doing even more defensiveness about him. But people are excited about the potential. It's just, when will we see that potential?
I think it's in a few weeks, and he'll be back. Apparently,
yeah.
But who knows? This international break might have come at the right time for him.
Definitely. I think he did play for one game for the Swiss team. At the start of the season, and then that was him. And then right off the bat, we got this guy, the Icelander, another striker. Are you happy we got another striker, John T, to add to the firepower up top, but also at the expense potentially of our academy graduate Harry Leonard?
Yeah, happy that we've got another striker. I just, puts a fear of God up me with when, because of his nationality. Because unfortunately, our last Icelandic player for me was really, really just the biggest letdown I can remember at Blackburn Rovers for a while. He came with this big reputation, and people were excited about him. And Mr. Sigurdsson just didn't live up to any standards. That we all wanted and hoped. So I've seen a couple. I think one of the Rovers fans posted it on the Blackburn Rovers Facebook page, and it was titled "His Skills, His Tricks, and His Goals," and I didn't see anything that really stood out. He's there was a lot of grounds that he was playing in that looked a little bit like Clitheroe FC or something like that. So in front of small crowds, but God, I hope we've got a little rough diamond there that just takes to the championship. That just all these big burly defenders, he has them in his back pocket, and just walks around them and just loves shooting and scoring goals. But we can live in hope. But yeah, good luck to the guy. Hope he makes it as a striker. Would I start with him on the first game at Watford? Yeah, probably. Let's chuck him in at the deep end, see what happens.
Well, the only negative, huh?
Oh, sorry.
No,
I was going to say, I am quietly optimistic again with him, just because I know there's heavily linked with Preston, wasn't there, for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and then they couldn't muster up the funds, or there was the potential loan to buy, and it never worked, and we come in with a full offer, and he's come to us. So it's always nice to take some off your rivals, direct rivals, especially around the corner from us. But the best thing about this whole thing was, I was reading some article, and then in the comments, a Blackburn fan goes, "That's it then." And what you call it? Miktar Gay's off to Derby then.
Oh, I'll drive him myself. Fingers crossed. I will drive him. Oh, right on cue. Look at this.
He's probably having the audio issues again. I don't know what's up. I need to have a look at his phone.
He's always fashionably late, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah.
He
just comes in with his locks, Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should wait for him or move on to the next topic. Can you hear? Can you hear us? He loves the app.
Shaking his head as if he can hear us.
No, but why does it do that?
Anyway.
Hang on, he's messaging me now. We'll move on. So now we're going to switch up. Well, actually, it's kind of bookend this. So this, of course, is the deals as of right now. There might be, of course, when this video goes out, might be a couple new faces to add to it. But definitely a bit of a rotating door of outs and ins. But yeah, it's going to be hopefully they settle in well, and hopefully, if not this season, they showcase what they're all about next season. So, but meanwhile, players going out. We're going to talk about that now. I'm going to start with, just kind of say, I don't know what you're going to say, but we're going to start with this guy, of course, Captain. Here he is.
It's so painful to see that.
It
really
is.
Yeah.
It is, and he apparently had a good game yesterday, and it is quite a team that they are building. I know they got a lot of our dead wood, old stuff, but the team that they are shaping up is pretty good. Now they got Diaz there on loan. They got
I don't know. I just, they didn't do it for Blackburn Rovers in terms of getting them promoted. They kept them safe, but I wouldn't say they're building a team that's.
No. If you put it in context, from nearly being relegated, we did the exact same thing last season, right? These are the players that kept us up, right? So, and we give it a good go. Weimann, these are players that, if we had the option as fans, we would have kept Travis, Weimann, Owen Beck, and Ben. I don't know about Ben Brinton Diaz, but they're definitely players that make an impact, and they'll be all right. I don't think they're going to get relegated anytime soon.
I think in terms of yesterday, that was the only the two things that made me happy yesterday was Ipswich scoring to make it 2-2 and Burnley conceding a 90 whatever minute defeat at Manchester United. If Burnley had won at or at least even drawn at Old Trafford, I would have been even more gutted than what I was. And if Derby had beaten Ipswich, so there was a little bit of saving grace about yesterday. But yeah, Lewis Travis, looking at that picture, it's like seeing your ex-wife that you're still in love with on a new wedding day, isn't it? Sort of thing. So but yeah, Lewis Travis, thank you very much for everything that you've done for us, matey. Bit of a shit way to finish your time at Blackburn Rovers. You've put all your eggs in one basket with John Eustace. But hope you just stay mid-table, to be fair, and watch the team that you've left, get promoted or have success. But yeah, I was a lot more bitter about it when it was more breaking news. Now I've made peace with it. I've moved on, especially after seeing Tavares at Hull City. I thought, yeah, it's all right, Lewis. You just keep being a shithouse and defensive midfielder sort of thing. But yeah, after watching Tavares yesterday, then yeah, I was thinking maybe we need Trav back. But
Jacob, what's your take on him? On the partner. We kind of want to put this to bed now. All the Lewis Travis nonsense, and we're going through the transfers out. We're going to talking about the players that we've left. Yeah, welcome. And what do you think?
Well, I can't believe what I'm hearing from Jonty. I thought you were Travis' #1 fan, Jonty. So I'm surprised to hear you. I mean, like you're kind of glad to see the back of him in a way, seeing Tavares.
I've never. I don't know where you got his #1 fan from. Did I like him? I think every Rovers fan liked Lewis Travis. Who didn't like Lewis Travis? But I wouldn't say I was his #1 fan.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's been times on the pod where we've had the Sonny and Travis question. I feel like you were always very much Travis ahead of Sonny. I mean, in my opinion, it's sad to see him go. I mean, he's been such a servant to the club. He definitely is one of those players, just bleeds blue and white. But is he a limited player? Yes, he is. I think we do want to get out of this league. Are we going to do so by playing two holding midfielders who both of their games are very similar? Both don't really offer much in terms of assists and a goal threat. Travis, to be fair to him, did chip in a few times last season with a couple goals and a couple assists, more so than Sondre. But nowhere near enough to kind of, as I said, they're both just such limited players. I think from what I've seen, maybe Tavares is going to be a bit more of a box to box. I mean that remains to be seen, but he seems very comfortable on the ball. In my opinion, when there's grass in front of him and he's not got someone breathing down his neck. I think there's a couple of times yesterday against Norwich where someone would be up his arse and he'd panic a little bit. So, I mean, but to be fair, Travis had that problem a couple of seasons ago, and that's why Jon Dahl dropped him from that pivot role, because he just could not deal with the pressure of someone being on him. So, I mean, hopefully Baraji as well. Obviously he's coming in. But it's sad to see him go, obviously, and it's left a sour taste in the mouth of a few people with obviously the way it's ended. Obviously, apparently, kind of refusing to play and whatnot, and then obviously going to Derby as well. But I mean, like we've said, I comment on the Rovers rant the other week ago. I mean, obviously, Eustace was the man who brought him back, and when he come in, he said, "I want you back in the summer. You're going to be in my side." You give him the captain's armband. Clearly, Travis has a lot of time for him, and I think obviously at that point in his career, he's quite disillusioned. Obviously, leaving to go to Ipswich, been get on with Jon Dahl, so it's not surprising to see this. But at the minute, could I? Is it a step up? I mean, I suppose that remains to be seen. But the way we've started the season, it might be.
Yeah. Does this move hurt more than this one? Who wants to jump in on that one?
I think it's
Um,
equal for me. I
yeah,
think Callum Britton had done really, really well. One of the best right backs in the league, if not the best right back. It's painful to see that because I think we've nurtured him, and brought him on to be the player that he is today. And now Middlesbrough are reaping the rewards of that. And he was just, absolutely in his prime. Middlesbrough are absolutely flying. So yeah, it hurts to see that one. But he's. Yeah, I don't, like Jacob said, Travis bleeds blue and white. Callum Britton was, doing extremely well for us. I'd like to just seen another season out of both. I think, to be fair, and I think both would have had the right to leave if we hadn't had a serious shot at like the playoffs or something like that. I think if we kept those two players, then yeah, potentially would have been we would have been a serious threat this season.
Yeah, but does that one hurt as much as this one?
I think in my mind,
Sorry, go on.
go finish. Go on.
for Jonty maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think the video and everything, just because of course if what you call it, Travis bled blue and white. This guy literally is the epitome of Blackburn Rovers because he's come in 9 years of age, come into the academy, made it all the way through. He's been one club man, and for him especially, it'll be 20 years at the club, and it is a big step from. And it is a sad. Like even I was a bit like, God, this one's a bit. Because we all love him, even as fans, we all love him. Like Jonty's turn around because he's crying now.
I can't look at the picture. I just can't. It's we've got to remember he was a ball boy at Blackburn Rovers, and this one hurts. This one hurts. So when Jacob said I'm his number one fan, I think he's getting mixed up with Bucko, because if he said that, then he's true. I just think he had so much more to give. Give him time. Give him game time. Is he going to amaze us in the first game that he comes back and starts? No, but give him 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games, as we saw, not that long ago, 2 seasons ago maybe, where Travis and Buckley, and they came in the February, didn't they, and just propelled us back up that league. So no, this one hurts. I will be going out to Saudi and watching him play.
Wow.
Anybody's welcome to come with me. And say again.
I'm not sad about this one.
Well, how about this?
I'm not sad about this one.
What if I rephrase this? Would you rather have Buckley, and not Jonty's excluded from this question because he would say yes, but would you rather have Buckley in the team or Axel Henriksen in the team?
Oh, I mean that's not fair. I think John Buckley's left for a reason because he just wasn't unfortunately good enough to keep a place or to impress anyone that has come in. How many managers have come through the door since? So we had Tony Mowbray, probably had the most faith in him. JDT, Eustace, and now and he's not made his impact. So Axel, we've seen 4 games of him. Like let's be real.
Well, not even that, Denver. Not even 4.
Yeah. He's not even had that. True, he's had 3, and so.
Well, they're mostly cameos as well. I think for Axel.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know if Jacob wants to answer that. I can't answer that. That's
Yeah, I mean, like Denver said, it's not really fair. When I don't even think there's the same position really in my mind. It seems Axel's going to be more of a number 10, and in my mind, Buckley's more of maybe a number 8. A box to box kind of player. I think, like Denver just said, he's not been fancied by any of the 4 managers. He got his most kind of opportunities under Mowbray, but even then, it's not like he was starting week in, week out, really. I mean, yeah, I think he's just a player that's kind of struggled, and I don't think the system's really helped him because, as I just said, I do think he's a box to box. I think maybe in a midfield 3, a flat midfield 3, he could play quite well. But I don't really think he's defensively sound enough or physical enough to be a number 6. And obviously, we play with 2 number 6s, and he's not got enough goals in his game. He can pick a pass, don't get me wrong, but he's not got enough goals in his game to be a number 10. So I think he was just always kind of out of favour for that reason. Never really made the impact that any of us kind of wanted. When he come in, obviously there was a lot of excitement around him. I remember him pinging balls and kind of when Adam Wharton come through, I've got those kind of feelings of, oh yeah, John Buckley were doing this when he first come in, but it just never really lasted. And it's sad. It's sad to see him go. Of course, he's been with club 20 years or whatever, but I think it's the best thing for his career, and it's a good move for us as well to get $1 million for him. I don't think if he'd have gone to an English club, we definitely wouldn't have been getting $1 million. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, hopefully he does well, and hopefully we can maybe there's a sell on in there or something if he does make a switch back. I like this guy. Moving on, my favorite, Jorge Costello. Yeah, nice guy, Mr. Utility Man. We've got a new one in Denevra who can be the new JRC.
Yeah,
we'll go. Well,
I think in your opinion, we won't be missing him much, will we, Dirk?
Yeah, I thought, I thought it was going to be. I think he's already down the pecking order at Charlton already. So he's he's like not getting games. He's on the bench, not getting minutes. So weird. Anyone wants to jump in on JRC, or we can move on? We can move on. Danny Bartz again. I do. Again, with the old Twitter algorithm, I do see a lot of Derby shit on my stuff, even though I don't want to. And they're not rating Danny Bart's performances so far. He is a year older. And I think they're just looking forward to, earlier I did say Derby are building a team. I'm not necessarily talking about the team of Rovers cast-offs, but the other players that I think Carlton Morris up top is a decent striker. I think they've got the young American guy coming in there. They have got some picking up some good. They are overloading themselves. They do have this experience of Danny Bart and Wyman and all that. They might not have hit the ground running, but I do think their squad is developing quite nicely for a good campaign, unfortunately. But I don't think the fans are taking too well to Danny Bart at the moment from the early 2 or 3 performances. But it's a shame because he was solid for us. And yeah, anyone
Very solid.
Yeah, anyone comments on him before we kick on? I've got 3 more faces.
I think the concern with Danny Barr is that, if Dominic Hyam went to Derby, because I think their partnership and understanding is extremely good. So are you going to bring out the best in Danny Barr and vice versa if Dominic Hyam went? So because I'm guessing he's centre backing with Dion Sanderson at the minute, isn't he? Which is I mean he was never going to be player of the season or anything like that. But he's. I think it all depends who he's stood next to. Is what?
I think he's.
I think he's carrying a kid, really, isn't he? I think you mentioned it last season. To be fair, Jonty, Hyam played his best football when he was with Danny Barth. Whenever he was with Carter, maybe because Carter's a little less experienced and whatnot, maybe Hyam had a bit more pressure on his shoulders to kind of keep hold of Carter sort of thing and whatnot. Whereas I think he just knew with Danny Barth, obviously, he's free to play his own game and Bath will play his own game as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Quick one on this guy, Dylan Markanday, switching to League 2. Did we get money for that? Was that money or was that free? Probably a free, wasn't it?
I think so. I think it was a free. Yeah. To be fair, I have a mate who's a Chesterfield fan, and obviously he was on loan there start of last season, then went to Leyton Orient, didn't he? He was gutted because he absolutely tore it up in League 2 with Chesterfield whilst they were there. So best of luck to him. And that's his level, isn't it? Let's be honest. But what a flop he's been, by the way, for us. I mean, we were so excited to get him in, and he played one game, got injured, and it just never happened after that, did it?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. At the minute after yesterday's performance, I'm I don't know where I'm sticking Cargbo in my team at the minute. So I think he could probably get ahead of him, in my gut opinion, at this moment in time. Because I don't think Cargbo has got the best touch in the world. Touch of a construction worker. He's got lead boots. And I know Denver's told us
about it. Touch of a Sam Gallagher.
Well, yeah. Well, and again, and that's another thing. I'd probably rather have Sam Gallagher than Mac Gay at the moment as well. It's another one. It's it's just. I'm just
have me rather than Max Gay at this moment in time.
It's. We'll talk about Well, yeah, I think honestly, you never know, because he's been quite embarrassing as a professional footballer. If your job is professional footballer, you get offside that often, that quick. John T.
What, are we going on to Matt Targay now?
No. Let me just wrap up this transfer quick. There are a couple. There's the man perm. It's Dolan.
Has anyone ever seen Coming to America? Just go back one slide. Have you seen Coming to America with that soul glow? It's
Yeah.
that, yeah. It's just reminds me of just that soul glow hair sort of thing with the
I don't know. I saw him burst on the. Well, he had a good first game, not too good second game. I think his match rating was pretty shitty last week. I haven't seen what he did today, but it could be I keep an eye on it, and then Wyman, of course. But let's if you want to divulge about the Big Mac, now is the time. Let's go for it. While I move over. Stuff.
Me,
Yeah.
just so disappointing. You know, I had my doubts about him last season. I made quite an early assumption. I didn't think he was going to be much of a footballer. I then got sort of, I wouldn't say egg on my face, but he had a couple of good games. I think my turning point last season was QPR away. I think that was maybe November, December time, where he'd actually had a meaningful shot on target. And boy, he can hit a ball. He can hit a ball. It just takes him 5 seconds to turn and then hit the bastard thing, by which time normally there's a lot of defenders around him. But, he can hit a ball, to be fair. And, and then he had a few good games, West Brom away and what have you. He scored a couple of headers. And I think this is my issue with him. For the size of the guy, he should be a real aerial threat. He should be scoring at least 5, 6, 7 goals with his head alone. And at this moment in time, he's had 47 appearances for Blackburn Rovers. He's scored 6 full stop. I don't know if they're off his head, off his foot, or whatever, but that is really piss poor. Do you know what I mean?
I will give him a bit of credit. Well, not credit, but
we're not at your bit yet, Dev.
No.
We're not at your bit. So let me finish, and then you can crack on, mate. Because also, so not only is his height and where he's inept. Yeah, but also being caught offside so many times. And I'm not just talking recently. I'm talking, this has been happening for games and games and games. He is constantly offside. He did that stupid thing at Burnley. Unfortunately, guys, I've seen enough. I'm going to stand with my first opinion and say he's 27 years old now. If he was 22, I'd probably cut the guy a bit of slack. He's not. He's 27. He should know better than this shit. As long as my arsehole points down, he ain't going to score more than, he's not going to get double figures. He will get goals, and Jacob will be on here saying, go on, John T, have some of that. He can score lots of goals and things like that. No, he'll have 1 or 2 good games in maybe 10 or 11 or 15, but he will not get to double figures. Denver, over to you, my sweet.
Woo! Okay, so all I'll say is...
Pick the bones out of that, mate. Pick the bones out of that.
Well, I agree. He's not been good enough, and I am running out of patience with him. But at the same time, he's not getting in the side, is he? Ohashi is, and there's a reason why he's not getting in the side, because of course he's not showing us the things we need to see for him to get in the squad. But what are our strengths? Are we pinging in balls? We do put a lot of balls in, to be fair, but I would think we do. It seems to be more when Ohashi's on the pitch. I'm trying to find these balls. I'm like, you know what, we could if we had a taller striker in there. But also, with Gay, with how refereeing's done today, any little pull, any little shove, any type of physicality he will put on a defender, they go down. There's a free kick every time. And sometimes I'm just like, you know what? But it's not just a Gay thing. It's just an all rounder where that kind of side of football is kind of gone. I think just because it's so easy for someone just to, what was it? Last season where I can't remember who we were playing against, where 2 of their defenders collided, went down, and the ref gave them a free kick. Like it's ridiculous. So I do have a bit of sympathy for him in there. Does that mean I'm a gay lover? That sounds weird. But no. No, I'm not.
Clip that
We'll
sucker.
end it there. We'll end it there. I think that's a good way to stop it.
Actually, what did you say yesterday, Jacob, on your vlog? You said something and you had to correct yourself, saying that sounds so wrong. I've forgotten what it was, but that was quality, mate. That was YouTube gold. What was it? What did you say? You said something similar, like gay lover or something like that.
I can't. Well, no, it wasn't that. But you probably do think I'm a gay lover, Jonty. But no, I'm not gonna defend Maxar because you're right. He hasn't been good enough. But I will point out that yesterday Yuki was offside just as much as more than Maxar was. Obviously, Maxar gets 10, 15 minutes in offside twice. Inexcusable. Did the same thing at Hull as well, which I was pissed off about. But I don't think Yuki's done anything of note this season. I'll be honest. He scores the goal at Hull, but he knew nothing about it. That's all Ryan Edge is obviously just twatting the ball into the box and it hits him. So, and how many times was Yuki offside yesterday? 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, listen, but okay.
I mean,
Point
again,
taken, but does that make Norwich a really good defending team that actually know when to push upfield and catch us offside? That's how I read that game. So one swallow doesn't make as a summer, as the old saying goes. So Yuki hasn't been as effective this season. I agree with that, but he's done a lot more good stuff than he has done bad stuff. And you know what? I always say that it's. If somebody scores a goal that he knows nothing about, that's just testament to his hard work. He deserves that goal. The footballing gods are looking down and saying, you know what, Yuki, you've worked your bollocks off in this game. You deserve something. If it comes off your arse, if it comes off your off your ear or whatever, do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. But at what point are we just going to say Maktar Gay is not good enough for the championship?
I mean, it's a nice way to spin it, Jonty, but I don't think Yuki's done anything, to be honest with you, this season.
We're not talking about Yuki. We're talking about Maktar Gay. We're talking about Maktar Gay. Talk to me about Maktar Gay. Is he good enough? Yes or no? It's dead simple. Anything else will be waffle.
I don't think he's an Ishmael striker. I think he would play better football under Eustace.
Which bit of yes or no did you not understand? Just you might end up with egg on your face, yeah. From what that you've defended him. This is a yes or no, Jacob. Is Maktar Gay? Yes or no?
I don't think either of them are good enough right now. If I had it my way, I'd be starting the Icelander guy against Watford. I think both of them have been poor.
Am I speaking a different language?
I've just answered.
Not Yuki. Just answer the question, Jacob. Yes or no?
Moving on.
Is Maktar Gay good enough? Yes or no?
I don't think either of them are good enough right now.
He's saying no,
I'm giving you a politician's answer, Jonty.
If I messed up, let's say Maktar Gay was on 4 games in and he's on 6 goals, I'd honestly hold my hands up and say I was wrong, and that's what I'm trying to get to. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you're thinking that we are going to see a player there, or at this moment in time, based on 47 games of appearances that we've seen him, I don't think we've got a player there. I think he needs to go. I think I wouldn't lose any sleep tomorrow. I was wondering on your opinion, and I'll get it wrong every now and then on a plaire and things like that, where it'll come back and bite me on my arse. But I just can't understand why you can't just give us a definitive answer on Maktar Gay.
Well, the only thing with that is, of course, what I'm not saying this is going to happen. I hope it does. But then Gay's going to score a hat trick against Watford, and then he's going to score loads of goals, and then you never know, right? You just never know. I think he's going to be good enough? No, but I am, of course, willing to be proven wrong. So I'll never say he's not good enough until he's left. But
yeah, and don't misunderstand me. Do I want the guy to do well? Of course I do. Yeah. Absolutely. I would love to come back on here and say, you know what, 47 games in and he was shocking, but look at the last 25 games. Wow. I can't believe we've won this championship, or we're top of the league or something, and it's all down to Matt Target. I would love nothing more, but at this moment in time, I ain't feeling it at all. I've never felt it from day one, to be honest with you, but yeah.
I would say the same, though, with Ben Brereton Diaz. Those first 2 seasons with Ben, I was like, what a waste of 7 million on here. And then he goes and does, albeit, 22 of his goals, 21 of them he scored before Christmas, but he was like a different animal. So look, stranger things have happened. It could happen. Do I see it happening? No. But I'd love it to happen because I remember still to this day thinking, why did we spend 7 million on this player? Because he's dreadful. Bang. There you go.
I think Jonty makes a good point about like his age, because obviously that's the difference with Diaz. Diaz was very young when he come in. Like Maktar should know better for his age, definitely, but he has had very limited minutes these first few games. As I said, Yuki's done nothing these first few games, in my opinion. I don't think he's contributed at all in terms of anything in these games. So I would sooner give Maktar a run out and see what he can do up front for 70, 80 minutes than Yuki. And if he has an absolute stinker, then fair enough. But he's not been given a fair crack at
Yeah, and I
with this
listen.
pre-season. Completely different pre-season, but
I can't disagree with that. If I keep always saying about Buckley that he just didn't get running the games and things like that, at least starting playing 70, 75 minutes, he needs 5 or 6 games, then I'm all for that. But we've seen that last season where he was getting starts in the games and he still didn't do that much then. Unfortunately, like I say, love the guy to pieces. As a you'd love to go for a pint with him and things like that, but unfortunately, there's no sentiment in business, and at this moment in time, this is a business proposition, and he's just not doing it for Blackburn Rovers. And we are getting some decent crosses into the box and things like that, but he's just nowhere to be seen. I don't know where his head's at. If he was 21, 22, I'd cut him more slack. He's not. He's 27. He needs to be settling down and doing what he's paid to do.
All right, cool. Wow. Now we're going to, we're putting an end to that little, thing, which is fine, and we'll see. Hey, you never know. It's transfer window die. You never know. He might not be here. We might get something else. Who knows? But it is a transfer special. So I wanted to test you to if you could name the 10 highest transfer fees we've paid. And if your memory is good, you may have just mentioned one of them.
Yeah.
So whenever you want, just chuck a name out. Chuck a name out. Huh?
Jordan Rhodes is number 1, isn't he?
Yeah. Alongside with Andy Cole, right?
Slow down. Jordan Rhodes, 8 million squid. He is number 1. That's the highest fee we paid.
Wasn't Andy Cole
came out at half time? I was very disappointed the Rovers fans didn't start doing he scores when he wants. He'd come out at half time and just crickets. Terrible.
I was looking at that on the vlog. I was like, is that the Icelander or what? But no.
Jordan Rhodes, and I was so disappointed that he didn't get any ovation. But I think obviously we just had a red card literally minutes before, so the crowd was a bit flat.
The crowd was in the concourse. That's where they were. That Blackburn ended yeah.
I love Jordan Rhodes.
Yeah, he was a goal scoring machine. Who else is in the top 10?
Andy Cole, yeah.
Andy Cole.
It was the joint the same.
Well, according to ChatGPT, my best mate, 7.6 million. Second place. Come on, keep it coming.
Mr. Diaz will be number 3 then.
Well, he is actually number 5.
5.
Dwight York
is not there.
Okay. Shearer will be 10th, will he?
Will Galley be on there?
Galley is in there.
Yeah, knew it.
Galley will be like number 8. 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we're probably more in Jonty's era here. Now. No, Shearer is not there. Nzonzi is not there.
Who could they lots of money for?
2 guy, or do we get him on a free? We got him on a free.
On a free, yeah. But you're close to home with 2 guy. Close to home.
In terms of Turk. Oh God, what's his name? Sukar. Somebody Sukar. What's his name?
No. More along the lines of the club we got him from, but not the nationality. It's a clue.
Galatasaray.
And he was. No. But
where did we get Matt Jansen from? Was Matt Jansen
Crystal
in there?
Palace, but he's not here.
No.
But the guy I'm on about was the replacement for David Dunn, I believe. I think. When David Dunn left, he left to go to Birmingham or something.
Birmingham. He went to Birmingham. So who
And we
replaced
got
him?
in someone else, I believe. This was the transfer.
Bentley.
Nope.
Brett
Oh, wait.
Emerton.
Bentley is not on this list. No, sorry.
What about Brett Emerton? Where do we get him from? Lucas
No.
Neal.
No. I'm going to give you this one. This guy is Barry Ferguson.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, from Rangers, wasn't it? Yeah.
7.5 mil. That's ridiculous. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Who's in the middle there? Who am I missing?
All right. Give us some initials.
I'll give you the club. We got the number 3 guy. We got this guy from Southampton. 1998 was the purchase.
Oh, my
Southampton 98.
It was supposed to be the new Shearer. Was a dud.
Oh, God. What's that other? David Goodwillie, is he good? I know we didn't get him from Southampton, but is he on there?
No, he's not on there.
Oh,
He's
okay,
not on
thank
there.
God for that.
This guy was shit for Rovers.
What's his initials?
First name begins with K. Second name begins with
Kevin
D.
Davies.
Yes.
Yes, of
Paid
course.
$7.5 million for him.
Yeah.
Now we got the back end. I think actually one of these might be one of Jacob's old favourite players, maybe.
What's?
Yeah, Jacob.
Oh yeah, Rocky Santa Cruz.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing that's sarcasm.
No. I think you said you. I think you said you like this guy.
Yakubu?
No.
I'm just thinking of like.
Give me initials. I need initials.
This guy is a
I'm going to
defender.
guess Yakubu.
It's a defender, and his initials are SD.
Scott Dan?
Yeah, Scott Dan. Is that one of your favourite players, Jacob?
Got down.
Yeah, you like him? You got
Not
poster on
really.
the wall? No, okay. The next 3 or the last 3 are forwards.
Okay.
We're gonna go with the number 10 and
McCarthy.
no, he was a bargain, 2 million. Number 10 was a Welshman.
Initials.
Mark Hughes?
Nope, not Mark Hughes.
Initials.
I'm not going to give you initials. He's currently manager of Wales.
Craig, did we not say that?
Craig Bellamy. I don't know if you
Did we
did.
not say Craig Bellamy? Because I thought someone said it, so I never thought about it.
You're breaking up. Can't hear you. Not really. I can't hear you. Okay, next 2. They're both foreigners, both strikers. One was, huh? What'd you got?
Kalinic.
Yeah, good one. Pick that one out. That's number 8. And the last one is always the butt of old jokes. Everyone says, "Oh, he's the next so and so."
Chris
He
Brown?
was shit. We bought him from Italy.
Initials.
CG.
CG.
I think I know you on about. Not that I ever watched him.
And he played for like a club you've never even heard of in Italy.
CG. Go on, Jacob.
Well, there he is.
Oh, Corrado Grabby, of course.
Corrado Grabby. So that was the
Banana. The hell are they?
banana. So that was the players coming in. Now we're going to do the same for the players that we received. Transfer special.
I like this.
Yeah. A bit of fun, but okay, come on. Who's number 1? Who's the most money we've received forever? Just think about the times. We're living in modern times. Adam Wharton is correct. Where am I?
Cruz up there.
Who?
Santa Cruz up there.
Santa Cruz is up there. He's number 2.
Yeah. Adam Armstrong.
Well done, Denver.
Adam Armstrong is up there.
Number 3.
Nope, he's 6.
What about David Dunn when we sold him to Birmingham? Did he not go for quite a big ticket? Was it not?
I think he was. Well, he's not in the top 10 anyway. There's a couple of surprises in here.
I don't think if anyone made us like.
I'm going to say Jordan Rhodes, but I don't think we got that much actually.
11 mil, wasn't it?
No, Jordan Rose, you did. He's 8. 9 million, it says, according to Chat GPT.
Oh no, I think he went to Wednesday, didn't he, for 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
One of them is a
Gusped.
Yeah, Rudy. Rudy is here.
Villa. Yeah.
Paid 6 mil.
Josh King.
No.
No.
Well, according to
He went on a
No.
free, didn't he? But then we got some money for him because he was under 24. I think that was
Yeah.
it.
In the top,
Tribunal.
How much did we get for Shearer?
well,
He's in there.
well, that's where ChatGPT screwed me over a little bit.
Chris Sutton, even. Chris Sutton.
Chris Sutton, I think we got. I don't know, but this is ChatGPT just fucked me over. I tell you now.
Yeah, he went for 15 million, didn't he?
I may exclude it. Maybe this was in the last 25 years, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll change it. We're changing it. Move the goalpost.
Okay.
But two of the remaining people are defenders.
Defenders. Craig Shaw. No, he was ancient, wasn't he? When we sold him, he was
ancient. Indeed.
Defenders.
Shane Duffy.
No.
Bellamy surely won't be in there.
No.
What was a defender?
No.
He's just throwing names out there.
Defenders.
Well, also, think about goal-scoring midfielders, one-season wonders. Come on. Recent times.
Kenny, man, no?
No. Goal-scoring, fantastic golden boot winner.
Sammy Schmoddix?
Yay! There we go. The Smod. There he is.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I
completely forgot about Smodix.
I know. So one is an Academy product, probably our best.
Damien Duff.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then another one's another Academy product.
John Buckley. Hang on. So Duffer, Donny.
Academy product.
Where did Matt Jansen go? Oh no! He'd come off his bike by then, hadn't he?
Yeah, he did. Well, this one went to. He actually went to Manchester. This guy.
Which one?
I don't know. I'm trying to tease it out of you.
Just give me initials.
PJ.
Phil Jones. Fucking
there
hell.
you go. Phil Jones.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
Last two. One you mentioned earlier, like somewhere in the pod.
And Zonzi.
No. I think Jacob mentioned him.
Chris Brown.
And then the last number 10 is like, I can't believe he's number 10, honestly. Surprise. According to ChatGPT, anyway.
It's Grant Hanley, number 10.
Yeah, he is bloody number 10. Bloody hell. Where did you get that one from?
That face as well.
I said Shane Duffy before, and I was thinking Grant.
So we're looking for somebody between 15 million and 16.5 million.
Yeah. England International.
England International.
With us?
Yeah, and who came through our academy, did you say?
No. This one didn't come from our academy. He was England International with us, but probably...
Paul Robinson?
No. He once he left us for this big money here, he was shit. And
who did he go to?
Tottenham Hotspur.
I was just going to say, well, I did say Tottenham when we both said it at the same time.
I think Paul Robinson.
Bentley, David Bentley.
Yes, David. Oh, there we go. Where's the whole fucking thing here? There we go.
But yeah, this year would be.
Well, I looked. I think Shearer must be. I'm sure it was 15 million. It should be up there. I don't know. I
think it'd be 6th, but there you go.
Well, he's not on there for whatever fucking reason. Anyway, I ran out of time. I was running a bit wild.
That's fine. No, I enjoyed that.
But so 4 games in, Big Val. I still love my Big Val. I'm no different. But what about you guys? What's your opinion on Big Val at the moment, John T?
I'm glad you came to me first, so I'll go for a P straight after this. Listen, it's 4 games in. I think we've played well in 3 of them, and we've had a really poor 4th game, albeit one really poor half. So, I think I'm all right with him. I'm still, I have faith in the guy. I'd like to see more of a plan B from him. His substitutions seem a little bit too personnel for personnel, same kind of tactics, just wanting the best. But no, I do like the guy. He did well, especially in the last 4 or 5 games of the end of last season. Seems to have started well, just hasn't got the results. But yeah, he needs to Needs to start turning some of the performances into results, and I will be a happy chappy.
Yeah. Jacob, what's your take on the bonjour, Big Valley Schmill?
Yeah, tricky one. I mean, those stats have been going around Twitter. The fact that he's got a worse record than Owen Coyle finished up with at the minute, which doesn't make good reading at all. Yeah, I mean, obviously, coming last season, we were kind of on a downward spiral anyway, weren't we? And Eustace leaving was obviously such a negative. Those 6 losses on the bounce or whatever it was were obviously horrendous. To bounce back with the 5 wins in a row and then the draw away at Bramall Lane was a really good kind of way to bounce back. I think, in my opinion, I thought we were fairly poor at West Brom. Yes, we had a penalty shout, but can I have left that ground thinking we deserved even a draw? No, to be honest, I don't think we did. But West Brom were well on top. We had 1 shot on target the entire game. I think we had 2 shots the entire game. Birmingham draw was probably a fair result in my eyes. I think bar the goal we scored again, we didn't really trouble them all that much. Really poor game management at the end there. The fact that we're taking a corner in the 10th minute or whatever, and there's not one man back is just really shoddy. So yeah, we didn't deserve to lose that one. Hull absolutely blew them out of the water, and I just don't know where that came from, and I don't know if that's just an outlier, kind of just a one-off game where it all just kind of clicked. But yesterday was just absolute crap, weren't it? I mean, that first half in particular, we just had nothing. And I think my main problem at the minute is we just have no goal threat. And this comes back to the whole striker thing again. I don't think either of the strikers have been good enough. I don't think we've done anywhere near enough in terms of getting shots away, creating chances. The amount of times yesterday we were building up the pitch and then Ribeiro kept giving the bloody ball away. That would do my head in. He must have given the ball away at least 4 or 5 times in the build-up. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I'll be putting Harry Pickering back in the team at this point. But yeah, I mean, in terms of Ishmael, it's still so many unknowns for me. I think ask me in a couple months, Dirk, if it's still like this in a couple months, then I think, maybe I'll be asking for a new manager, but it's still early doors. We probably should have at least 4 points on the board, in my opinion. Probably should have got a draw against Birmingham. Other than that, I think West Brom and Norwich were fair, in my opinion.
Yeah, Denver. When would you press the panic button? When would you press the panic button on Big Val? Because a bit of a turnaround in players. This is going to be his squad. Of course, he must hopefully have signed off on most of these deals. But when would you think?
But that didn't happen under Eustace.
Yeah, it did. Yes and no. Like I think we generated funds with these players coming out, and the funds. It's mostly been regurgitated. The money coming in, it's gone back out again. But it's not like we've dug deep and whopped out 5 million extra. But when would you start to? Because there's a betting in time for these players. We don't want to get relegated, but when would you think? Now's the time to explore something else, because it does look like everyone's on the same image. I think probably if we had like a fly on the wall at Ewood or behind the scenes there, I think deep down they're kind of writing off this season as kind of getting these guys all ready for another season and see where they are and just try and survive in this division. Yeah. Question, whatever I asked you, can't remember now, but
I would say if we are in the bottom 3 by Christmas, I don't think we will be. But I think if we're ever in that position, we're in and amongst it, in and out in the bottom 3 by Christmas time, it would be changed. That would what be. I'm sure there'll be fans who are saying for him to be sacked now, and there'll be fans saying we'd be in the bottom 3 and he's the best thing in the world. But I think, look, a season we've got to transition into this philosophy, this style. This is what the board wanted, right? This is the reason why Eustace wanted to leave, because it didn't match his vision of football. So we brought someone in to do that and fill this and breed young players. The intensity, as he always says, they bring the intensity into the group, and that's what he wants to do. So we just got to wait and see. Ultimately, if we're mid-table this season, that's his excuse. He's got that one excuse, and then he's got to kick on next season, depending on who we get and what we sign and how players are performing. But yeah, the total disaster. If we're in the bottom three by Christmas, I think that's when you would sack him. But I can't. Other than that, I can't see why I would sack him, because we've put all this investment into this style, and to get rid of him would be silly. And the only way you do that is if there's someone who had a similar philosophy come in and was able to to pick up the pieces, because that's what we're trying to. That's what we did do until Eustace come in. That was the philosophy of the football club. But yeah, we've got to wait and see.
I think because it feels like it's they backed him with the 3-year deal. They kind of like saying this is your baby now, and I feel there's not much pressure on his shoulders to succeed. I think we all would love him to succeed, and everyone, has that hope from last season rolling into this season that maybe we could kick on from 7th. But I honestly think there's not too much pressure on his shoulders to demand that top 12 finish, and maybe he will be more judged by those up in the the higher echelons of the Rovers board and whatnot, by more long-term plan. Again, I think even if we finished, what's it, 21st or 22nd on goal difference, I still think, he's gonna. I like Big Val. I'm not saying, I don't want to put in a bad light, but even if he does finish that point, everyone else around the world or their club would say, he should still go, sack him. But I just think he's kind of like. I think he is I don't think they're going to sack him. I don't think they'll ever sack him unless, it gets super toxic. I think it's going to take a lot to remove him from his 3-year contract.
Yeah, I think my biggest disappointment so far this season was his post-match statement yesterday, where I much prefer a manager to come out and say, "Listen, the first half was completely unacceptable. We tried a little bit more in the second half," but he didn't. He said, he talks about his pride for the players in the second half and things like that. I much prefer a manager just to say it as it is. We can't reach the dizzy heights of what we did against Hull and then do such a poor performance first half, especially. We need to learn how to break different teams down, and we just seemed a bit one-dimensional. That Norwich posed a completely different threat, and we were just completely unprepared for that. So Jacob made a really good point. Is that we've talked about it so many times now, including the end of last season. We just don't have, for whatever reason, we're just not sometimes just hitting that ball. We're not just going for it. I quite liked. Jacob picked out that we didn't leave one man back against Birmingham. I don't mind that. It's 1-1. We're at home. It's ours, to be won. We didn't sit back on the back foot and just let Birmingham come at us, which I think we've seen under the last 3 or 4 managers, where we would have just seen the game out. But on a different day, we could have taken the winner, and Ismail's are the best thing since sliced bread, sort of thing. So our intent is right. It's just the final product, the finishing bit, sort of thing. Do we put that down to the strikers? I don't know. I'd love to know what they do at Brockall day in, day out, because we're starting to all sound like broken records. Is that we get into the final third and then we're a little bit forgetful of what we're supposed to be doing, unless we, they seem to, every single time we're just looking for the perfect goal, lots of quick little slick passes and little flicks, and then we just see the final goal, and sometimes you just got to hit the bastard thing and hope it comes off somebody's backside and things like that. That's what I'd like to see more of, but yeah, I agree with everything really, Denver. I think if we are in the bottom 3 at Christmas, I think that's worrying signs. Would I be pressing the panic button? I'd be getting pretty close to it. Yeah, getting pretty close to it. But it's not toxic. Nobody's, even the rumours on the concourses it's not even a conversation as far as I'm concerned at this moment in time. So we need a bit of stability. I think there's a good manager there, sort of thing. And I just hope that he has, quite a big influence on who we can sign. It's not just all being dictated from Rudy and co. I hope he does have a big say in it. Something we'll never quite know.
Yeah, and actually, our next match is the Big
But
Val
it's
Derby. Sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say that is part and parcel of the reason why Eustace left, weren't it? I've heard that behind the scenes, he was saying that's not my player, that's not my player. When they bring in the likes of Dennis and whatnot, he was clearly being told who he could and couldn't sign, and had his hands tied. I mean, to me, it's really disappointing that we were literally goal difference away from finishing in the playoffs last season, and now we're almost inclined to the fact that mid-table would be a good season for us. We're having conversations about relegation. It's really depressing, and I know we've had such change in the squad, but I can't help but feel so pessimistic that these we're gonna bring these players through, and then next season we're just gonna have the same thing happen again. We're gonna lose Cantwell, and we might lose. If Ohashi comes good in the end of this season, lose the likes of Ohashi and whatnot. This is going to be a vicious cycle of us just constantly selling our best players and always having to rebuild and whatnot.
But at the same time, I think that's football, right? If you're not the top teams who are buying these players, that's it. Look at Palace now in the Premier League; they've just lost, half their squad. And look, you've got Adam Ward, you've got Gay possibly leaving, and that's it. The top clubs will pick them, and then they'll look down and take our best players, and then that's just how football works. And yeah, it is annoying. But at the same time, it's how, especially a club like us, that's the only way we can fund ourselves. And we just hope that one day we get the players and they work just enough that we go up, and then we are one of the big fish then, for championship wise, not Premier League wise, of course. And then we are able to buy players from here, there, and then we're that team that can hopefully stay up. And that's it. That's all we're hoping for now. We're hoping that we get a consistent development of these players that we brought in now, that maybe if Cantwell goes next season, whatever, we only need to plug one or two holes, maybe improve to a degree, find a gem, and then the rest of the base of the team have leveled up that we can challenge. And that's the hope. That's what half the clubs are now doing after seeing the likes of Derby splash a load of cash and get ruined by it, and Sheffield Wednesday splash a load of cash and ruined by it. They're going for this model because it's PSR safe and all sorts. So yeah, I think that's it is annoying because we're not able to just go and spend a load of money, but it's just the way of where we are at the minute, isn't it? I don't think we can either.
You mute.
Yeah.
You mute. In fact, that's the best thing you've said all podcast.
Wow, Johnsy's been horrible today, hasn't he? He's been on everyone's case.
I'm still in a foul mood from yesterday. You're still on mute.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, no, you're back.
You're there.
I'm back, baby. Back, baby. Been trying to talk for ages. It is the Big Val Derby, though. Next up, Watford. So, hey, pick your 11. I've stuck Toff straight in a goal. There's no arguments there. So,
there's my chance.
No way. With that Barnett, with that hair transplant, no way. He's lost it. So who wants to chuck in our left back? Do we want to change Ribeiro for Pickering, or do we want to put Denev down there, or what?
Are we doing our team or predicted team?
Hey, I don't know. Well, you've all
our team.
Do our team then. Your team, your 3 team.
In there.
What'd you say? Pickering?
I'd be putting Pickering at left back, and I can't believe I'm saying that, Dirk. But Ribeiro frustrated me that much yesterday. Just the amount of times he lost it. And I saw someone on Twitter saying, "Never seen this man have less than a 7 out of 10 the game," and half the comments were people saying that was yesterday, mate. So yeah, I thought it was so frustrating yesterday. He's a little faster than Pickering, but in my eyes, he's bang average. He's no Owen Beck, is he?
No. And again, this squad is transfer window permitting, or when this gets dropped, who knows? You just don't know. Some of these may be sold. Pickering might be sold. Who knows? We'll see.
I don't think I'd put Pickering in. That's a bit of a knee-jerk reaction to one bad game. I'd stick with Ribeiro. Personally, I think you're right, Jacob. He was really, really frustrating yesterday. But is that because of the kind of high standards that he set? I don't think it warrants putting Pickering straight in at that. But that's why I don't.
Do you really think he's much better than Pickering?
I think he's better. I wouldn't say much better. I think he's better. I think hopefully what we're wanting to create is challenges for each position. So maybe Pickering has raised his game as a result of being a bench warmer. So I'd like to think that Pickering can. I never disliked Pickering. I thought he was he was all right, not as solid, but I prefer Ribeiro if I'm being honest, but. We saw a different side of him yesterday, which, at Hull, I thought he had a great game. He does some good crossing. He's intelligent. He's looking to advance. So, make good decision making and things like that. Just yesterday was toe curlingly poor from him by his standards.
Anyone want to jump in with the next position?
Well, Hyam goes straight in, doesn't he? And therefore, so does Wharton because your man.
Carter not ready by that point? Put Carter in there?
Maybe.
He's injured, isn't he? Oh, no, he's come back now, hasn't
he? He is. So, another 2 weeks on the grass, he could potentially be in contention.
So, what do you want to do?
I think Wharton will go in there. I do think Wharton. Yeah. I just thought I mentioned that just to, sprinkle a bit of. But Wharton's been in and around it for a while now, hasn't he? So I think he will start ahead of Carter.
Yeah.
If Carter's ready after the international break, I'd be playing him over Scott Wharton. I'll be honest.
Yeah, so would I. But I think just because Scott had, he's played games this season where Hayden Carter, hasn't. He will be more. I think he will put Scotty in just because of he's got minutes in the.
He's match ready and match fit, and Carter's probably just.
I think Watford might be just one game too soon for him, so he might come on for the last 10-15 minutes. But no, I think it'd be the right thing to do to put Scotty Wharton in there. I like Scotty Wharton as well. Safe pair of hands.
Ryan, sorry, right back.
Maybe we put Hayden Carter up front. For the last 15 minutes.
I'm still thinking of that.
Just a quickie.
Say that again.
Sorry. I think I'm breaking up a bit, but I've seen on Twitter O'Riordan's being praised quite a lot wherever he's on loan, so he might be a player to consider in a year's time or so.
Yeah.
Who's that?
That's Conor O'Riordan. He's at Doncaster. He's
right, yeah.
But when we signed him, all the crew, all the people I knew saying he's hell of a player, such a player. And I'm like, oh right, we've just not seen him whatsoever. It's been such a weird one. How much the amount of people that come to me, crew fans and all sorts of fans saying how good of a defender he is, and he's not had a sniff. He's just not had any look in whatsoever. But hey, you never know.
Next up.
That's kind of what we did with Carter, though, and Scott Wharton. We sent them out on loans, didn't we?
Yeah. Well, Hayden Carter went to Pompey. He went on loan, came back, and he got to the squad. I did put a future Blackburn Rovers squad, and I have him O'Riordan in there alongside Dom Hyam, but I don't think that Dom Hyam will be gone by then. So we'll see. Next up,
Tronstad, obviously.
Sonny.
Yeah,
Sonny, and it'd be Tavares.
I don't think Baraggi will be match fit by then, will he?
No. Hayden Carter's better chance than he does, I think, playing. But yeah, I think it'd be Sonny, Tavares. I think Campbell will be through the middle. I think it'll be Ohashi up top.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'd rather give this to Johnson a go up front. I'll be honest. I think both of them have been so poor.
But I think it will be a case of Ohashi gets 50, 60 minutes and then Johnson comes off.
This is our team, Denver. It's our team.
And
It's not what Val wants to do.
think it'll be that. So
the only problem with the Icelander is he's going on international duty, so he'll be playing 2 games as well. Ohashi's got his feet up, chilling. So you know.
See, that's why I put Max Hargay up the front.
Yeah. So
I'd genuinely rather start Maktar than Yuki. Genuinely.
But I think
away from home, you want an outlet up front just to pump the ball down to. I'd genuinely rather start Maktar.
I think this is the quandary that the whole team struggle with, is because you've got 2 very, very different types of players. You've got Max Hargay, that's a big guy that doesn't move as mobile as everybody else, doesn't really drop in and what have you. And then you've got Yuki that will drop back in, try and win the ball and what have you, but chuck it in the middle for Yuki, he's not going to win a lot of headers. So I think we need to go there with a very, very defined game plan. And if it is, that actually, you know what, Maktar, you just stay up front, stay on side, son. But just we don't want to see you anywhere near our half. Or do we go there because we need Yuki and but we need to be a very defined game plan. And maybe this is where the confusion goes. And sometimes that interpretation or the communication from the manager to the team, it's just it's lost in translation, isn't it? So there does seem a disconnect there. Do you know what I mean? And you've got 2 very, very different types of strikers. So maybe you're right. Maybe we just go for the Icelandic guy and just say, listen, just see what you can do, son. But I guess the real quandary in all of this is Cargbo, because as much as I love Cargbo, and I think Denview called it out before, is when a ball comes into him, his first touch then turns into a tackle, doesn't it? His second touch is a tackle. His first touch is that bad that he then has to tackle the guy back for the ball. And it's frustrating, isn't it? He almost boiled my piss as much as Tyrese Dolan did, because there is a player there, but sometimes we can't have it that he's just, he might have one really good game and then a bit of a passenger in 5, or he gets, he gets worked out very, very quickly that he's quick, so then they double up on him and things like that. So I'd probably go with Cargbo myself, but
I think, John, if you called me out on the whole Ribeiro thing, having the one bad game. Personally, Cargbo had an awful game yesterday. He was the worst player on the pitch. He really annoyed me yesterday, but I thought he was brilliant against Hull. I thought when he come on against West Brom, he was the best player when he come on. So dangerous. Got 2 of their players carded in the 20 minutes or so he was on the pitch. I think he's had more positive games than bad games. Yesterday was awful, but that is off the top of my head, that's the only bad game I can say I've seen him play. There's been other games where he's maybe not done much, but
the only thing I'd say, and this isn't a greater than thou kind of comment because I went to Hull and you didn't, because also remember you went to West Brom and I didn't, sort of thing. But against Hull, what you didn't see in the highlights is he still gave the ball away quite a lot. His first touch still wasn't that great. So whilst we only see the highlights, he still wasn't that great. So that puts obviously a little bit more evidence.
I was watching it. I was watching it on Sky. I thought he had a good game. I thought, the assist for Hedges was brilliant.
Oh yeah,
he had that shot where he put it just wide, and he looked dangerous. I don't know. I thought he had a good game against Hull.
I think he could have had a lot of a better game. I think he could have hurt them a lot more than he did. I think Hull were a little bit off it, of course, so it made us look better on the whole. But there were times in that game where Carbo could have, if he made the right decision, he could have got past this play. He could have been phenomenal. We were singing the praise of Ryan Hedges, how good he looked. Remember how much we were bashing Ryan Hedges a few weeks ago? And Cargo should be he should be the guy on the side, and he's not at the minute. I expect more from him because of his pace. If you could have Dolan and Cargbo and fuse them in, so you could have Cargbo's pace and Dolan's trickery. You'd have a hell of a player, but we don't, unfortunately. But
it wouldn't be a Blackburn Rovers, well, would it? If that was
yeah,
the case.
exactly. Well,
He
that's
currently
the
plays
thing.
for Barcelona.
Exactly.
That's,
Yeah.
But then of course, that's the job that Ishmael has got now. We signed this player. This is an area of his game that is lacking. Let's see if we can improve it. We'll have a really good player and then potentially sell him on to another club, and that's why they're at where they are. Yes, I think we've potentially got a player there, but Cargbo again in Hull, it wasn't. There was some time, like other than that chance, there was 2 or 3 chances where he'd try and beat a player, and then he'd have a heavy touch, and then we've lost the ball, or he'd make the wrong decision, make the run at the wrong time, make the poor pass. But then saying that, I thought everyone was singing Cantwell's praises at Hull. I thought he lost the ball way too many times, like way too many times for my liking, and because we never conceded from those opportunities. We nearly did a few times. We were under the cosh because of the times he lost it. I would have loved to have seen a stat saying how many times he lost the ball compared to the rest of the team. But everyone forgets about that because we won and he scored a goal and got an assist, So, well, potential assist because Ohashi scored it. But yeah, I think that right side, both Ryan and Cargbo, I think both of them have the similar issues in terms of decision making on the ball and that touch. I think we'll lose the ball a lot on that side of the pitch, but hopefully they can come good. But yeah, I think we still start Cargbo though.
We still go for Cargbo.
Yeah.
Would you not be starting Miro on the right?
I've not seen enough of him for me personally to say. I wasn't there on Saturday, and what people have said, not seen enough of him. Is he off to Japan as well in the international break?
No, he didn't get picked up.
Did he not?
Mm-mm.
I mean, none of us have seen enough of him, but his numbers from last season speak for themselves. I think we've got to be starting Hedges, unfortunately, just because he has been
Say
quite
that
good
again,
the past
Jacob.
few games.
Say that again, Jacob. Just want to hear
I know. I must have hit my head. I must have hit my head. I'm saying on this podcast I want to start Ryan Hedges and Harry Pickering next game. I can't believe it.
This is what confuses me about the Max Argay piece, because you're still not going to say, you know what, he's shite, but you're man enough to say, you know what, Hedges has had some good games and what have you. So you're a little bit, you can be bipolar on this a little bit at times, Jacob, because honestly, I never thought I'd hear you say start Ryan Hedges, but credit where credit's due. Maybe he's just an Ismail player because and different players shine under different managers, and Hedges has been a different player. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for him. I don't know why, because he has frustrated the hell out of me. But you just look at that team, and there's just this is why the championship players, isn't it? Because they've got so much potential. They just don't live up to it, or they're just not consistent enough week in, week out with it. But for me, looking at that team, I honestly believe that we could do well this season. But I just, for whatever reason, I think we're gonna be more mid to bottom than we are going to be mid to top. Is my gut feeling right now, because of what I said right at the start of this podcast, is that it's kind of almost relegation fodder when you play well but don't win, and that against West Brom and against Birmingham was there for everybody to see. We then took all of our frustration out on Hull, and then the less said about yesterday, the better. It was a car crash in slow motion, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Can I just say how good of a signing Albiasu's been, by the way? He's just slotted straight in, and I mean, as good as a player Britain was, I've not really missed him that much because of how good Albiasu's been, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's been solid. Bit of a unit. Can't get knocked off the ball. These are the next 6 games. We're just kind of focusing on the next 4. That's what's going to happen in the next. Okay, maybe the next 5. That's the next chunk before the second international break. I know before we went and we had all these high double-digit numbers, but Denver,
away. Oh.
Yeah, Denver, you're next to me on my right. How many points in the next 5?
Oh dear. The next 5. So we're looking at Watford, Ipswich, Charlton, Swansea, Stoke. Yeah,
correct. Coventry is you ignore that one for now.
God, 5. I'm not optimistic. Some of those games are not easy games. I know Ipswich haven't started very well, but I can imagine them. No, they're going to be a tough game. Charlton's not going to be an easy game. Watford's not going to be an easy game. Swansea, you might see points, but they're our bogey side, and Stoke are flying. So, yeah, I'm saying 5 points, and that's being generous.
Swansea are bogey side.
Oh, whenever we go
I
there,
mean, Coventry are.
yeah, but away, I think away Swansea. I don't think we ever win at Liberty, other than the one time I actually had a ticket and never went because I was working. And, we won 3-0.
Yeah, typically.
Yeah, so it's always fun.
Looks like Jonty's got the calculator out, I think.
I have, yeah.
Maybe Jacob wants to jump in while Jonty's
Are
doing his...
are we just doing the 5 or are all of the whole 6 on there?
No, the 5. I've just...
So up to Stoke.
Up to Stoke.
Okay.
But while you're calculating, Jacob, what your gut?
Like to think we get a point at Watford, at least. They're going to be down there this season from what I kind of seen, and obviously they've got a lot of trouble behind the scenes. Ipswich at home, go up for a point, but I think it'll be a loss, unfortunately. Charlton away, newly promoted side, away from home, we're going to lose. That's just the way Blackburn Rovers do it. Swansea at home, I'll say we get our first home win there, which is a bit embarrassing considering that'll be end of September at that point. So that puts us on 4. Stoke at home, I think they'll absolutely flatten us the way they're going right now. So I'll go with a very pessimistic 4 points, Dirk.
Phew, guys, terrible. Jonty's gonna save us here, though. I believe in the Jonty. Here he goes.
Yeah, so my head's saying 8.
There we go.
My heart is saying 12.
Woo.
Okay, so I've said Watford away. My heart is saying 3. My head is saying 1 point draw. Ipswich at home. I think they're winner. I think we can beat them. They haven't got off to a great start at all. In fact, they're below us, aren't they? So, so that potentially could be 3 points. But my head's saying 1 point. I think we'll beat Charlton away. So I've said 3 head and heart. Swansea, I've said again we should beat those. Home and away. Head at Stoke at home, I've said 0. Head and heart, I've said 0 for both. So, yeah, pick the bones out of that. But 8 for my head, 12 for my heart. But every time I'm optimistic about Blackburn Rovers, it does the polar opposite. So I went to Hull just so I don't think we'll get anything out of today. And I even called out on the vlog that we did, we'll get beat, and we went and absolutely surpassed all expectations. And then yesterday, when I was saying how good we were and it'll be a comfortable 2-0 victory to Rovers, we went and got beat. So the other part of me is saying we're going to get no points out of that because I'm just again going to reverse psychology.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's absolutely no way we go win at Charlton. It just ain't happening.
Yeah,
It's just always those games where you go to these shit sides away from home, and we're just crap.
It sounds like we're not going to get much coverage at Watford because Jacob, where are you? Istanbul or something like that. Where are you?
I'm in Budapest on a lad's holiday.
Okay.
So I've reached out to Toff on Instagram, and he's not got back to me, the bastard. But Hungary are playing Portugal, so I was hoping to go to the game, but it's sold out. So probably going to find a local boozer, but I may have to get in contact with the club or something, see if I can maybe go meet him or something like that whilst I'm out there. Maybe get a shirt, maybe some tickets.
Well, I'm in Crete for Watford, so I ain't going to that one, which is a shame because I do like Watford away, so I ain't going to that one. But I hope to go to Charlton away. Well, there's only 2 away games in that 5, isn't there? Watford and Charlton. So yeah, hopefully I'll do Charlton away. I quite like Charlton as an away day. Some decent memories there. So, Denver, you up for it?
That could be our first coach game, Dirk.
We'll try. That's a good segue. I'll get
I'll
Eddie
try
to
and
jump in here and to talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, it's some tricky games on the. I actually think it looks more promising, these games, than the first 4 or so that we've had.
Yeah,
Watford do
easier on paper.
Yeah, I think we'll get Charlton. They'll got Joe Reca Costello. He'll play. He'll have he'll forget which side he's on, and he'll give us a gift. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But
Dirk, why don't we get Eddie on this podcast? I mean,
well, he's a hard man to track down. He's always out and about. Yeah.
Such a shame.
With those long locks of his, he's always out and about.
Good-looking guy, isn't he?
Yeah,
Good-looking guy.
Solid guy. If I dig back on the other side, I would just be in my pick. He's a good-looking fella. Good-looking smeller.
You're a gay lover, innit?
But, does anyone want to revisit there or change their mind on where they think Rovers will end up this season on the table?
I can't remember what I said when we started.
Well, I think we all had high aspirations of at least top 10.
Yeah. No, I think we can. I still think we can.
I think at this. I remember I put a sixth. So I'd be inclined to.
Yeah,
I'd be inclined to do the same. Yeah.
He's back.
I'm back. Sorry. Wi-Fi's been awful today. Yeah.
Today?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
We can hear you.
Right, it's gone.
My camera's being a bit weird, but see my beautiful face.
It's okay.
I think I was very positive, obviously, off the back of last season. Those last 6 results were brilliant. So I think I went 5th. But if you tasked me at this moment in time, I'd say 18th. I'll be honest, and that'd be the worst season we've had in a long while.
Last season,
worst season.
As in the last season preview, we were 18th, weren't we? 17th, 18th.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
17th, if I remember right.
Where my head's at now, I honestly think it's not just going to quite click for us this season. I think we'll finish about 17th or 18th, but not be under any serious threat of relegation. I think, like, what I mean is, like, the bottom 4 or 5 will have already just be fighting it out amongst themselves. So I don't see us being in any immediate threat of relegation, but I just think we'll probably finish 14th, 15th, 16th maybe, but not have to press the panic button and then hopefully reset and go again. But the players for me potentially could get us into the top 10. Whereabouts in the top 10, I'll never know. But let's think positive. I mean, there's only Middlesbrough with a full 100% record that have got 12 points. So, on the positive side, we're only 9 points behind top place, aren't we?
Yeah, still doable. Just looking at, it's been breaking news. Icelander has gone to Peterborough, done deal. So that was on the verge of collapsing, but it's just, I'm reading it right now. But anyway, that wraps it up. 1 million. 1 million plus add-ons and all that kind of mess. So just all the whatever. Peterborough, the team.
Did you get a chance to talk about Diaz before I jumped on? Diaz to Derby?
No, we did.
We touched on it. Yeah, we touched on it.
Maybe. It's been a long time. 2 hours.
Why, Jacob? That sounds pretty leading.
Yeah, you want to talk about him?
No, I just. I mean, I think we always say this as Rovers fans, but the grass really isn't greener, is it? I mean, he's found himself back in the Championship after heading to La Liga, and he's got a few goals in Prem. To be fair to him, but such a weird move that, because if he doesn't hit the ground running at a Derby, they're going to be right on his back, being a former Notts Forest player and whatnot. And you look at the likes of Sammy Smodics. You know, it's kind of obviously like you put it before, Dirk. Is he a one-season wonder? Suppose we'll have to wait and see. But you know, got that goal at Man City last season and whatnot, and he's just not really hit those heights again. So it's sad to see, really. But I'd have had him back. I don't think he would have come back, but I definitely would have had him.
Yeah. I'm sure he would have been better than what we currently have, and I'm sure he would have.
It's a good point about the Forest connection, though. I'd forgotten all about that. So Derby fans ain't going to give him a lot of time if he's fluffing his lines and missing some crucial. Then it could go a little bit toxic on him. So you'd like to think not, because we're in the Derby shirt, but fans have the fickle bastards, aren't we? So
he's on loan though, isn't he? It's not a permanent move.
It's quite surprising that happened so quick as well. That Diaz deal. Thanks again, lads. Thanks again for all your time and, of course, your efforts on the channel, and, of course, your input into this past week or so of Blackburn Rovers. Moving forward, what about yours? Blackburn Rovers memories, of course. We're trying to get 150 of them onto the social media platform Twitter, as well as a big old video to celebrate Blackburn Rovers 150 years. If you want to help us out, Eddie's got something to tell you.
Hey, with Eddie back once again, but this time I don't want your money. No, I want your name, your voice, your Rovers memories. That's right. We started a social media project over on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, showcasing 150 Blackburn Rovers memories. I've asked fans from around the globe to drop their Rovers memories, but of course I need more of them. That's right. 150 is a big number, and we need some more, and that's where you come in. That's right. Whether it's the best player, best goal, best shirt, best moment in regards to Blackburn Rovers, I want to hear about it. So if you want to do that, again, follow that link. There is also one down in the description, and drop it in there. Of course, that memory will be featured over on Twitter on a day of its own, and then of course together in a master video when we drop it on November the 5th to celebrate Blackburn Rovers 150th anniversary. So please do me a favour and drop your Rovers memory. But anyway, once again, back to Dirk to wrap up.
Appreciate that, Eddie. Thanks again, and thanks again for any of those people that have already committed to the project and given us their Blackburn Rovers memory. Moving forward, I'll keep you back up to date with anything else coming at you this coming week over at Rovers. Transfer window is officially going to shut today, as of when this video goes out. So maybe we'll revisit the window one more time and then see what kind of players we can look forward to pulling on the blue and white. But anyway, that is it. Subscribe, smash the like. I'll see you soon. Whenever I return, I'm done.